Okay, so I know that this is like super nerdy stuff that I'm talking about, and obviously it's not for everybody, as I've said before. However, there's plenty of people that I think want to know in depth about this stuff. Like there's so much we don't understand about sexuality. It's amazing that it's mysterious, but there's definitely like elements of it. It's really nice to understand. And actually, I've only hardly touched on the surface, if I'm going to be completely honest, you know. So let me just check what's going on with my assistant. I nibble on a piece of chocolate while I'm doing it. See if he's coming. Where is he? Okay, we'll be fine, even without him. So, right. Without further ado, let's go. I prepared a massive 5-hour PowerPoint for tonight, guys. Okay. Only teasing, actually. I'm just saying that to wind people up. So, if you haven't been here before, that's fine. That's cool. But I'll just go over a couple of things. So we're going a little bit further on, step into your divine Eros power. So we've done 2 days already. We've looked at like what we're basically looking at is how to activate our erotic sort of life force energy inside of the bodies. And on day 1, we looked at how to move the body to do that. Day 2, we've been looking at clearing out energetic blockages. And now today, we're going to be actually going into like doing like a divine juicy ritual to basically activate this energy and reconnect these energy sources that we were talking about last time, right? So this is really going to be so cool. And day 3, here we go. Supposed to say something else. No. Okay. Oh yeah. Day 3, sexual transmutation. Okay. And we're looking at becoming a divine love being powered by erotic energy. So Eros is the god of love and sex. So it's not just sex, actually. And let's have a quick look at some of these deities that we're invoking. So Aphrodite is the goddess of sexual love, fertility, beauty, abundance, pleasure, and passion. And these are really like, these are the energies of the flesh that we're tapping into. So these really, like, we can say like lower self, but we're not meaning lower self in a negative way. In fact, this is where we get the power to be able to fuel our higher self by stepping in and connecting with the lower energy. So Eros is her bad boy lover, the god of love and sex, bit of a mischievous bad boy. And he reminds us how we also perhaps need to connect into our mischievous parts of ourselves. So who am I? My name is Jade Lotus, and I have studied and practiced Taoist sexual alchemy for years. Through this practice, I managed to blow the lid off of my anorgasmia and simultaneously cure chronic health problems, addictions, and start manifesting creativity and abundance. I studied with the Taoist Grandmaster Mantak Chia and learned to practice and teach the ancient Taoist art of sexual transmutation. Oop. I am also a certified Tantra educator, just said there. So I'm certified Tantra educator, and I'm also a Taoist certified instructor. Okay, so just for people who weren't here, and I am going to reiterate this, I'm putting a disclaimer. I'm also going to ask right now, if you have any medical problems, if you have if you're pregnant as well, please, can you just private message me in the chat your medical problem, because I might have to tell you not to do this exercise. Okay, so these are powerful energies we're working with. They must be respected. Many Western people have played with these energies and harmed themselves. The Taoist practices that we look at are taught in specific ways and in specific orders. Malpractice can result in serious and permanent health problems. This includes taking practices out of context, for example, learning from a book. So if you're going to learn Taoist practices, you need a teacher and you need to have someone you can ask for advice. So Tantra, in my opinion, is largely mistaught today, and many Tantra teachers take Taoist exercises out of context and teach them incorrectly. And Kundalini syndrome is a real thing. This energy is not a toy. Something funny just happened just then. Are we still sharing the screen? Oh, he's come back in. Precious, could you please activate so that I can share the screen? Can you make me a co-host, please? Okay, fantastic. Okay, all right. We didn't need screen sharing just there. Okay, so. Okay, right, perfect. Okay, so I'm putting a questionnaire, and I want people to put in the chat a 1, a 2, or a 3. So you can see there it says questionnaire. Number 1, I love all the Taoist nerdy stuff. More. Okay, this is a vote about what's going on this evening. 2, it's been great, but let's have a bit more practical today. 3, I never want to hear the term Taoist again. Let's just go back to normal sex. So please put in the chat, what do you want? 1, 2, or 3? Because, guys, I have created hours worth of PowerPoint for you. And we're going to be here till about 3 a.m. American time. So that's going to be like 10 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, I am a little bit joking. We are going to have more theory, and I'm going to tell you where you can find out loads more. But it's cool. Nobody's put a 3 yet. But I guess if you didn't come back, you 3 a.m. in America time is 15 hours from now. I'm teasing, guys. I'm being Eros, because Eros is mischievous. So I'm being mischievous, and I'm tapping into the Eros energy. So people are liking 1 and 2, and we are going to be getting more. We're going to be doing a little bit more exercises. In fact, we're going to combine what we've done over the last few days a little bit. And we're going to do a new exercise. We're going to take a teeny little bit more theory on. There's over 4 hours of recording of the last videos going on in the group already. You're also going to receive these as well. I know we could talk like for a whole week about this, but yeah. Okay, so I want to talk to people quickly about how can you learn more about this. Yeah. Okay, the really cool thing I'm announcing to people, and I know I've kind of been whispering about this for the last few months, is that I am starting actually teacher training to become a bedchamber educator, right? It takes a whole year. It's quite a lot you need to learn. But if you can sit down and you can do the practices, you're interested in that. My assistant is now going to put my Calendly link into the chat. Okay, if you're interested in that, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, if you're interested in my group programs as well, please, Precious, please do put the Calendly link in the chat. and you can find a slot there to book a quick consultation with me to see if these are suitable. Okay. And just to explain about the one-on-one coaching, the group programs is kind of similar to each other, but obviously one of them is more personal, the other one it's more in a group, right? And I've got 3 PDFs, or Precious has got 3 PDFs that explain what goes on in this one-on-one coaching and in the group program. So one is for women, one is for men, one is for couples. Precious, could you kindly put those in the chat, please? One of them's called Aphrodite, one of them's called Eros, one of them's called Divine. Divine is for couples, Aphrodite is for women, and Eros is for men. Okay, so there's also another, which is I have a membership as well. Okay, my membership literally right now, oh, just one more thing, yeah, I've actually got some like super good prices that I'm doing for you guys, yeah, that have watched this live, yeah. So I've actually got some partial scholarships that if you book with me the Calendly to have a call like this week, if you book today, that we can discuss. Even I have like some quite big partial scholarships that gives you like a big discount on some of these programs that you can ask me about. Okay, so you can also, I think, however you found me, you can also send a message on the social media if you want to know more. But if you book on the Calendly, it asks you some questions. If you're not sure about if it's right for you, just put it there, and then I'll get in touch and let you know if it's not the right thing. So thank you, Precious, for putting that in there. So I have a membership. The membership is for everyone. Anyone can join it. Again, this is on a discounted rate right now. Precious will put the link to the membership. So what it means is you're a member. You pay once a month. Okay, there's different levels of the membership. With 2 of the levels of the membership, you're actually going through the same content that you get in the group program, but you're just going through it much more slowly. Okay, you get access to like group coaching. For example, my masterclass, which is on next week. So next week, by the way, I've got a masterclass about penetration. If you're a member of my membership, okay, which literally is starting right now from £27, okay, you get free access to the £72 masterclass about penetration. You get also 2 free other classes per month, plus you get access to group coaching. There's a few other things that you get as well, like smaller things that go along with it. So click that link, check out the membership, because that's also for people that is maybe feeling like they're not quite ready to commit to themselves to take this kind of an activation on. The membership is a great place to start, because you can get to be part of a community, to get some like free classes and so on. So is this all clarified? Any questions regarding this? No. Okay. All right. So you can just find out loads more stuff, loads in detail there. Any questions, you can always send me a message on social media. Right. And looking at like, what are the benefits of doing these practices? Okay, so this is what my clients are reporting and what I've also experienced. So anything that I've put here, I experienced it and multiple clients experienced it too. Okay, not just one person, but multiple people. So increased energy levels, loss of interest in addiction. Sometimes within 2 weeks, people have lost addiction of lifetime porn habits, use of coffee, use of cannabis, going out the window, emotional balance, including people that had really diagnosable mental health conditions. Actually, I'm not saying every single mental health condition is going to be helped by this, but finding that they almost completely just dissipated, improvement in the work. So I have quite a few clients which are actually CEOs of companies, and they're finding that in just a few weeks of working on their own energy, they're getting much better communication within their company. So we're talking about sexual healing. It might be sexual problems, might be just an increase in pleasure, wanting more intimacy, wanting more connection, wanting to feel more like a god in bed, a goddess in bed, improve relationships as well, increased self-confidence, and increased self-love. And in fact, don't just take this from me, right? Let us just have a quick look at something, because I want to just show a couple of videos. Oh, okay. So I do have a lot of testimonials I would love to share with you guys. I am not going to spend the whole evening playing you guys testimonials. I would like to just show you a couple though. So Precious, you've got a link that contains about 20 testimonials. Could you kindly stick that into the chat so that people can look at them in their own time? But just for example, when I'm talking to people here about this link between activating our energy and between having more abundance, right? Let's just have a check about what this guy here is talking.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris, and I started doing the multi-orgasmic toolkit back in June, I think it was now. And the practices that Jade teaches you really bring a massive change in your energy, in how you feel, your vitality. It's been an incredible journey. I went from being someone, I wasn't previously like this, but I went from having severe anxiety to the point I didn't even want to leave my own home, to going out back like I used to on my own. I do a lot of photography, and for about 6 months, I didn't even leave the house with the camera, which is something that I would do on a daily, weekly basis in my normal life. I mean, I have a day job that takes its toll on me. That was about the only reason I was sort of leaving the house and my family. Since doing the inner smile every day and the other practices, I can really feel a massive energy shift in my life. And I suppose my dream is to work with my camera as a full-time job, and my creativity is massive now. It's on fire, and the only problem I have now is the time to go and do it. It's not the drive to get out and do it. The drive's there, which is a better problem to have than not wanting to leave the house. And also, the sales on my Facebook page they've gone from virtually zero to I'm getting a good few orders each month, and now I'm offering photography shoots to people, and there's a huge shift in the abundance in my life, and I put it down to the fact of all the Tao practices that have helped me change the way I am and grow my self-love for me, have really helped in my daily life with my family, and also with my business. It's been a massive change for me, and I'm really grateful to have been on this journey. And I shall continue the practices, and I've got so much from it. And I really appreciate all the hard work Jay put into putting the course together. And I can't thank her enough for the change that's have happened in my life. Hey everyone, I'm Chris, and I stopped.
So just so you know, guys, he was only 4 weeks into the 15-week program when he did that testimonial for me. So it's not even like that he'd finished it all the way when he did it. And it just goes to show like how powerful, that this stuff is. And the reason I want to share this is that I know that a lot of us suffer with a lack of belief in ourselves, and that we feel that, we hang on to a kind of a poverty mindset where we think oh, if we invest in ourselves, we're going to lose money, we're going to end up suffering, it's not a good idea to do this. So I'm just going to show you one more that's literally a 1-minute video, and then we'll get on to what we're doing. And of course, I encourage you guys to just watch all those testimonials if you want to know more that's come through on that page.
Not so long ago, Jade taught me how to do the microcosmic orbit, which is a very powerful practice. At first, I was just kind of going along with it. And then after a little while had passed, I then began to tune into the energy within my body and feel and become aware of my sexual energy moving up my spine and round. And the method she taught me, how to turn my body into a vessel and recycle the energy, it was truly life-changing. And it's given me the power and the confidence and the vitality to live with abundance and achieve and realize all my dreams. So I am truly grateful to Jade, and I definitely recommend her courses, because if you want to really know what your true power is in this life, what she teaches definitely is a key to unlocking it. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Okay, so I want to leave you guys then to resource yourselves with what's been sent to you. Hopefully you've picked up on those links. So, right. Let's get back to the PowerPoint. So, okay, so we looked at these benefits, right? And we remember this picture. And basically, we talked about this yesterday, right? This is the whole process of alchemy, that we have these three dantians, these three energy transformation centers. And what we're looking at today is we're looking at sexual transmutation. And we're looking at using sexual transmutation and activating our energy. Okay, this is a diagram. It's come from one of my websites. The website's called www.jadelotus.co.uk. If you haven't seen it, my other one you can see behind me, theartofthebedchamber.com, right? If you haven't found my other website. Looking at the transmutation of sexual energy, right? So we saw in that last picture those three dots. Okay, we're going to go into a little bit more detail. So we're looking here. Okay, I'm going to read this. When Jing energy rises from the perineum into the lower dantian, this begins the process of sexual alchemy. So you can more or less, we're going to oversimplify this. You can imagine the horny feeling, right? And how many people are stuck in sexual frustration with the horny feeling only down there, or the sexual feeling may just shut down and you don't feel anything. And it's not rising, it's not transmuting, it's not coming up into the belly, right? You can see down there at the bottom, the belly, okay, the Jing comes up into the belly, and it starts to transform into Qi, which is the feeling of vitality. This will then rise up slowly. And we're talking about a process that probably will take a minimum of months, possibly years, okay, for this process to happen. Now, all that really matters is that we activate this lower dantian. We don't really need to worry too much about the upper dantians. They activate on their own when the lower one is activated, because we start the process of alchemy by bringing the energy into the lower dantian. So if you practice Qigong or Tai Chi, you're probably familiar with the dantian. So in our hearts, the Qi transforms into Shen energy. And I just call the Shen energy love. And we can see there, we can see the fire, and we can see the water, which we were talking about before, the water and the fire energies. And we're going to do an exercise with these today. So this Shen then rises up like a mist into the crystal palace, which is in the middle of the brain. You can see the star up there in the middle of the head. And that's where it transforms into original Tao energy. This is how we can reach enlightenment. So the PowerPoint's coming to you, but do feel free to photograph this on your mobile phone. The lower dantian The Jing is essence. We feel it when we are sexually aroused. But the Jing is so much more than sexual energy. It's our DNA, is what creates us, is the raw material that plants and humans and animals are made out of. Qi is vital energy. We feel it when we are energized. Shen is the spirit of the heart. We feel it when we feel love. Tao energy is our original energy, and it's the place of enlightenment. So can I just check, has this made sense to people? Any questions about this? If you've been here the last few days, that probably is making sense to you. Is that new? Any questions on that? No. Okay. Going back here. Right. Okay. The basics of sexual transmutation. So just to go over this again. Sexual energy is the source energy that we are created from. It is the power to create, heal, and inspire us. According to Taoism, healthy sexuality is a combination of 50% love in the heart and 50% orgasmic energy in the sexual center that is connected and constantly flowing together. As we learned in the last few days, life stresses in modern society disconnect these two forces. So we looked at a lot of different reasons how these become disconnected. And basically, we're looking a little bit about how we can start unblocking this energy. They exist on a spiritual and energetic and a physical level. So we're all the time working. We can work on the physical level. We can move the body. We can work on the spiritual level. We can work on the energy level. We're actually going to do a kind of a spiritual exercise today. Today we will reconnect them on a spiritual level as the first step to getting back in touch with the true nature of our sexual energy. Because it's almost like the way that our society functions kind of relies on splitting people's love and sexual energy. It certainly is the effect. And after the clearing work we did yesterday, this is the first step to activating our erotic power. Now, going back to day one, Friday night, I want to invite that we're going to do an exercise now. So the exercise is going to involve standing up. And okay, we're going to stand up and we're going to move, and we're going to move the energy through the body. See if I can go over here. Okay, let me get this a little up. I can't see people, but I trust you're standing, right? Why does this picture look no good? I think I need a new cover for this phone. It must be just okay, you can see me really well on Instagram, perhaps not so well on other places. But what we're going to do is let's start moving the body. Just allow your body to move as it just wants to move, okay? But be aware of your knees. Just put your feet around shoulder width apart. Be aware of your knees, your hips. So just move your hips a bit. Feel the hip bones opening up. And now move your sacrum. In fact, why have I even got that? This is better. Okay, let's move your sacrum. Much better. Sorry, guys. Move your spine. Move your shoulders. Move your arms, your neck, your head. And let's just come out of our heads now, and let's just put the power into our bodies. So let's give our bodies the permission to do. Oh no.
These details seem tiny in comparison to the immense scale of the knowledge, but they are important clues to the quest to better understand the island's defense strategy. In terms of military strategy,
Can you make sure that you're muted, everybody? Barbara, darling. That was just some sound. Okay, now it's quiet again. Okay. And I want you to become aware as you're moving of your sacrum, right? And just note, how does your body move around your sacrum? So the sacrum is actually quite a big bone right here. If you don't know where it is, I definitely advise to have a look at a picture of a sacrum on Google. Panda. Panda. Good girl. The sacrum is right here, so it's right in the center of your body. And you can notice as you move your hips, your pelvis, get the feeling that what's going on is we've got the legs coming up here, we've got the pelvis here, going back into the sacrum, and coming up is the spine. And this lovely energy we want to activate is actually coming from the sacrum up the spine. So you can even tap a little bit on your sacrum just to activate that energy. And just notice how that feels, tapping on your sacrum. And you can also tap a little bit on your belly, on the tops of your legs. So a lot of energy gets stuck here, like especially a lot of sexual energy gets stuck there. So in fact, I have Does anyone know what these are? You probably, I don't know if anyone has one of these. It's actually for activating your energy. But you can just, this is perfectly fine, actually. And then let's just now just feel the sacrum, feel the pubic bone, and just move from side to side. And really just visualize that energy is like waking up in your sacrum, and that as you're moving, it's like a kind of a snake that's just coming and moving up your body. And you can experiment with big circles and small circles. And in fact, if you just imagine your coccyx pointed down towards the earth, and draw some teeny tiny little circles there with your coccyx. And just notice the feeling that you get there. So another movement I love is to come forwards, put your bum in, and go up like a snake. And just notice if any areas of your body are stiff, the energy is blocked. Just move wherever you're feeling a blockage, wherever you're feeling stiffness. And just get a nice feeling, because ultimately that's what we want, a nice feeling of energy inside of our bodies. And hopefully you're feeling your whole body is getting a little bit looser. You're moving a bit better. So if you notice a nice feeling coming up your back, coming up your spine, Because the nice feeling is just the energy. And you can notice you can move your shoulders and your chest and see if you can get a feeling of energy in your heart as you move the upper body. And then when you move your lower body, that you get the feeling of the energy in your pelvis, and just note what those energies feel like. Notice if they're similar. And I invite you to also just feel free to just stroke your body, touch your body. Touch your arms, your sides, your legs. And just notice how it feels when you touch your body. Maybe you can even use your hands to help the energy to activate. And then just find yourself in a comfortable position, if you like. Sitting down. And is there any questions anybody has about this? Anything anyone would like to share? Moving the shoulders feels amazing. Yeah, because when we move the shoulders, we're like activating the heart. And you remember me talking yesterday about how we can get these lumps and bumps around here, which can be blocked lymphatic, because the main energy blocks we get is around the heart and the groin. And often we get the two together, but not necessarily. And actually, if we do more swinging of the arms, like when we walk and so on, this can help this clear out. But also, like when we have like pain in the heart, we tend to kind of stiffen up, which stops the sexual energy, stops the love energy moving. And the same when we have not so comfortable with the sexual energy, then we tend to just tense up in the pelvis. Just give me one moment, guys. Sorry. Okay, so this is like a nice way. Hopefully some people felt some kind of feelings of the energy waking up and the energy moving. And this is definitely like a nice way to open up the body. And it's always important, like with Taoist meditation, we do the sitting meditations, but we always do some movement as well. So the movement is super important. So coming back to this picture, and we can see the Qi and the Jing. Sorry, the Jing and the Shen. Okay. And we're just going to make a note, the heart center, which is by the heart or by the thymus gland, and the sexual center, the orgasmic center, which is just above the pubic bone. So I think I wasn't sharing just then, but that's fine. We don't need to share. Now we're going to do a meditation. Yeah, here. Okay, so this, yeah, I wanted to just show this picture again. How we have the Jing here and the Shen there. So we can say this is the orgasmic center. This is the love center. It's the heart center and the center of the sexual energy. So if you're new today, if you're watching this for the first time, we were talking about how to clear the blockages in between, which is quite an important job to do. Has some really profound effects actually when we start clearing the blockages. In fact, as you saw, the man talking on the testimonial, he just did the work. By the way, this picture is available on that website, jadelotus.co.uk, right? There's some great pictures on that website. That's another one of my websites, as well as the Art of the Bedchamber. So I recommend, though, take a photo of that. And I'll put that photo up in the Facebook group as well, because it's a really cool picture. And I'll put it on my Instagram story as well, so people can see it. Okay, great question. Love it. Yeah. If there's any more of these great questions before we get on to the practice, I would love to hear, like, these are such good questions to ask. So if you're thinking something, I bet other people are thinking it. So ask it. What is the sign of energy moving or being activated? Is it a feel good, or does it come in any other form? It can come in loads of forms, right? So it can come as a good feeling. People often say it can come as a warm feeling. Some people feel it as a cool feeling as well. It generally will be, if your body is too warm, you might feel it as a cool feeling, but most people's bodies are too cold, so they feel it as a warm feeling, right? So a nice feeling, a warm feeling, you can get a tingling feeling. Another telltale sign that comes at some point is often saliva in the mouth. Now, when I do the coaching with the women, around when we get to week 6 and week 7, a lot of the women will notice the vagina getting really wet, you know, not overly wet, but that it's nice and lubricated, you know, as needed. And, you know, just a nice moistness in the vagina. It can come pink on the cheeks. I am wearing a bit of, you know, makeup, because when you go in the camera, I don't know, it always looks better with makeup on, right? Yeah. Although I don't usually wear it otherwise, apart from when I'm making videos. Guys will notice stronger erections when the energy is moving. In fact, guys might be meditating and just get an erection. There's actually ancient statues of the Buddha meditating with an erection. So meditating and getting an erection is a sign that energy is flowing as well. So yeah, a classic one is more saliva on the mouth. You can get burping or hiccups as well. You might even feel like in an altered state of consciousness. You also might feel a pain. You might feel something bad. There's the odd person that's actually fainted. when some energy unblocked, you can get a feeling like a shift, of consciousness. Some people can even jerk quite dramatically, vibrate, shake. You guys maybe saw me when it got towards the end of that, and I was having a lot of energy orgasms come up my body when we were getting to the end of the dance. So yeah, there's a lot of different feelings. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Is anyone asking questions on Instagram? Oh God, why are there so many? How to seduce a girl when she feels low? Send me a DM. I'll help you out with that. Hello to Turkey. Hello from Turkey. Okay, all right. Any more questions regarding that? What does energy feel like? Yeah, okay. But remember, there's different forms of energy. Like, fear is an energy, joy is an energy, love is an energy, feeling vitality is an energy. We're feeling energies all the time, but we're kind of not used to calling them. Like a horny feeling is a energy as well. We might find, even for example, I've been taking some homeopathy recently. Me and the dog have both been on the homeopathy. And even I notice it's amazing because it's so subtle. It's like an energy medicine. But I notice that like going out, especially going out in the woods, I was noticing with taking this homeopathy, I was becoming so much more connected with nature and kind of like aware of the energies around me. So yeah, really, like there is like so much energy just everywhere all around us, but we're kind of like ignoring it basically. And sometimes it's like the matter of like tuning into it. Emotions are energy. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so if you guys were here over the last days, you did watch you did learn how to smile to your organs, right? Okay, so we're going to take that technique and we're going to do something cool. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to reconnect. So we've been talking the last few days about the importance of having enough energy in the heart center and having enough energy in having enough energy in this sexual center, right? And I did just say, guys, again, please, can I ask if you've got like a heart disease or cancer or pregnancy, can I ask, don't do this. It might be fine, but I just don't want to be responsible for anything. So yeah, better to ask me. Yeah, I would say don't do this. You can smile to your heart if you're pregnant. So the first part can be done if you have some condition, but let's leave the other part just in case. Okay. So because I said if anybody has a condition to let me know, but nobody's told me they're pregnant. Nobody's told me they have any medical conditions. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. So what we're doing, it kind of comes from like week 3 of the program. What we did the last couple of days is week 1, week 2, right? Okay. So we remember like the heart is like really the center of the body. Like it's the most important part of the body. In fact, in Chinese theory, we say the heart is like the emperor of the other organs. The heart is the emperor. The liver is the general. I can't remember the rest, but I know that the liver is the general and that the heart is the emperor, right? So, or it could be the empress maybe, right? So we're going to use this same exercise we used before. So let's just first of all place our hands over our heart. And then we're going to shut our eyes. So shutting the eyelids, we can notice that although the eyes are shut, So the eyelids are covering the eyes, but the eyes still can see. So we're actually going to point and move our attention backwards inside, looking back into the brain. And then we're going to look down the throat into the chest. And we're going to use our intention, and we're going to find our heart. We're going to connect with our heart. And we're going to smile to our heart, like we're connecting and smiling to an old, long lost friend. And we're going to send love and acceptance into our hearts. So as we smile into our hearts, let's connect with the element of fire. So we saw that fiery ball on the picture, and we're going to connect there into feeling that feeling of fire and that feeling of love. And as we connect there, sending our attention there and our energy there, we can notice that this starts to grow. And we can feel that the love is growing in our hearts. And we can feel it like a red ball, which is actually spreading its light out through our chest, out into the arms, the shoulders, the necks, the body. And then let us leave this ball of energy floating here in our hearts. And let's bring our hands down and place the hands over the sexual center. And we're going to smile into the sexual center, connecting there into the sexual center. Feeling the energy growing there. And we're going to connect with the energy of the water element. So you can feel like a blue lake. A still blue lake on a sunny, calm day. And feel this blue energy filling your whole pelvis. This is your sexual energy, your jing, your DNA. And you can notice it's a very extremely peaceful energy. And you can feel that by connecting into this energy, you connect with your DNA. And that connects you to your ancestors, to all of humanity. So just visualize here in this space that you are in a womb, and like a cave, and that you're sitting next to a fire. And that fire is full of old women, all your ancestors, all sitting around together with you, telling stories and imparting wisdom to you. And allow yourself to connect with this wisdom. And to allow this wisdom to activate inside of your being. And as you're connecting into this energy, I invite you to set your intention for what you want now, here in 2023. Connecting with this energy and asking it. asking it to support you. And as you breathe in and out of your belly, I want you to feel yourself connecting in to the violet light in the universe. And invite the violet light in the universe to come down into your body, into your cells, and to guide you, to help you in your path. And now take this blue energy and form it into a ball in your sacral chakra, right above your pubic bone, where your womb is. By the way, guys, you all have energetic wombs, and women have energetic penises as well, and penis and testicles and so on. So we all have the energetic of both sexes. So feeling this ball of energy now in your sacral chakra, just sitting above your pubic bone, I invite you to now use your intention and move your intention downwards. And as you do this, connect with the ball and move this blue ball of energy down over your pubic bone and your pubic hair, down past your clitoris and vulva, or your penis, your testicles, and down into your perineum. So taking some long, deep breaths, feel now that this blue ball is down next to your perineum. And then using your intention, we're now going to move the blue ball back towards the coccyx and back into the sacrum. And using your attention, you're going to bring the blue ball up past your lumbar vertebra, up past your kidneys and adrenal glands, up through your thoracic vertebra, past your heart, up through your shoulders, into your neck, and into your head. So holding this blue ball of energy for a moment, taking 3 long, slow, deep breaths. I want you to now let go and allow this blue ball of energy to float up above your head and to rest 1 foot above your head, floating there above you. And now move your attention back to your heart. Connect back with that red ball of energy that you left there. Smile to it. You can place your hands over it to hold it. Connect with it. And now using the same technique, we're going to move this ball of red energy up the sternum, up to the neck, the jaw, up over the face, and up above the head. And we're going to allow it to connect together with that ball of blue energy. Just keeping your head shut, your eyes shut. We're going to now feel the fireball and the water ball merging together like a yin-yang symbol. and starting to swirl and spiral together above your head. So now just looking into this bowl, I want you to look inside this bowl, and in this bowl, you will visualize a garden. And it is the most beautiful garden you have ever seen. It's full of plants, vines, flowers, butterflies, snakes, mammals, reptiles, and all of these animals and creatures and plants are living together in perfect harmony. And looking into the garden, you will notice a couple walking towards you, a man and a woman. And looking at them, you can see that they are the most perfect beings that you've ever seen. The most perfect man, the most perfect woman. And you will realize it is a god and a goddess that is walking towards you, holding hands, arms around each other, gazing into each other's eyes with perfect love and perfect affection. You can see their bodies moving together in total harmony, their lips connecting, and you can feel the love energy like a red mist floating around them. And as they start to kiss and they start to touch each other, you can see their sexual centers activating, and the blue energy is activating, and it's spreading around them like a mist. It's connecting with the red energy in their hearts, and it's surrounding them in a purple haze of transmuted sexual and loving energy. And you can see their fluids, their sexual fluids starting to increase, starting to overflow. And now you can feel the sexual fluids dripping down onto your head. You can feel the liquid coming down onto your head, onto your scalp, into your hair, and into your brain. And you can see these fluids are a purple color, and that the purple color starts to fill your brain. And that in your brain, you start to become aware of a forest garden. Tall trees growing, surrounded by plants, by birds, raccoons, animals, lizards, birds, flowers, blue and orange and yellow flowers, green leaves, drooping vines. You can see a stream and a small pond. And walking around this pond, you notice two more human beings. Again, two absolutely stunning, perfect, gorgeous people, the most beautiful people you've ever seen. You see the way they move, that they're so in harmony with their bodies. You can see the perfect satisfaction as they gaze into each other's eyes with total love. You can feel the red energy emanating out from their hearts and surrounding them. You can see them starting to kiss, moving together in perfect harmony and oneness together. You can see their sexual centers activating, and the blue energy is activating inside of your brain, mixing with the red energy, with the purple energy, and creating a purple haze, all filling inside your brain as they start to make love together. And you see the fluids, the sexual fluids beginning to overflow. Purple fluids, purple energy fluids that are now dripping down your throat. Coming down your throat into your chest, filling your chest, filling your heart. And you can feel that your whole chest is becoming a purple color. And that looking into your chest, you see a forest. And this forest is full of silver birch trees and rocks. You can see chipmunks and squirrels. You can see rattlesnakes. You can see birds like blue jays, and you can see eagles in this forest. And you can see a river running through the forest down the side of the mountain. And next to the river, you see another couple, two more people, the most perfect, beautiful, gorgeous people you've ever seen in your life. And you realize that here are two more divine deities, two more God and Goddess together. And you see them moving in total perfection together. You see them gazing into each other's eyes in total love and adoration. You can feel the love emanating from their hearts like a red energy, filling their beings and spreading around them, a red energy surrounding them like a thick mist. You see them touching each other. You see them kissing. And you see their sexual centers activating as a blue energy starts to spread out from their sexual organs, spreading out through them and around them, connecting with the red energy of love and surrounding their whole bodies. As the energy transmutes and transforms, it starts becoming purple energy, which then starts to spread through your arms, through your neck and your head, combining with the energy that's already there. And you feel the violet light from the universe coming down into your body, into your cells, coming down to this loving, amorous couple who are now beginning to make love together. And you are seeing and feeling their sexual fluids overflowing, filling your chest, your heart, your diaphragm, and your lungs. And you feel now that the purple energy is spreading down and dripping down through your stomach, into your intestines, into your belly. And you place your hands on your belly and your pelvis, and now you're feeling this purple energy moving down. And you can stroke down from your head, down your chest, down into your body, down to your belly, down to your pelvis. And you feel the purple energy spreading through your pelvis, through your sacrum, down into your sexual organs, your hips, your thighs, your femur bones, your knees. You feel it is filling your calves, your tibia, your fibula, your ankles, your feet, your toes. You feel the purple energy spreading all the way down into the soles of your feet, spreading through your shoulders, your arms, your upper arms, down to your elbows, your lower arms, your hands, and your fingers. And placing your hands on your knees, start to move your body and notice where the energy is. And bring your attention centering into your belly with the intention of sending that energy down into your belly and down into your sexual organs. And relaxing will allow the energy to flow downward and to just prevent any energy getting stuck in your head. We're going to just go into the head, connect with the energy there. And we're going to move our attention down into our heart, feeling the energy coming down into our hearts. So you can stroke down, bringing the energy down into your heart, and then move it down into your belly. And I like to make circles over my belly to help the energy store there in my belly. So just stroking down my body, bringing the energy down, bringing anything that might have got stuck in your head, bringing it down and keeping the image of these divine beings inside your head, inside your chest, in your belly, bringing them down into your sexual organs. And you can allow the 6 of them to actually remain in your belly and around your sexual organs. And they can even stay there and start having a little party or a little orgy. And you can ask them to connect with your own Eros, your own erotic energy, and to activate this energy as well. And connecting now into your womb space, which is where your sacral chakra is. And if you're a man, don't worry, you have an energetic womb space, so you can connect there into that space just above the pubic bone. This is a powerful, powerful space. It's the space of the sexual center, of course, but this is so much more than what we think of as sexual energy. This is a divine palace. This is the place where life is produced. And the desire to return back to the vagina, to the pussy, to the yoni, the desire that men have to seek out the pussy, to penetrate the pussy, to enter the pussy. This is the divine desire to reconnect back into the sacred life source from which man comes. And of course, we as women, we have within our bodies the sacred source of life. And connecting, truly connecting in a sacred way, not just rushing there to release tension unconsciously, but really consciously connecting into this energy is the key to our personal power. And I invite you to truly sit in that energy and to bring into your attention now the intention, to bring to your attention now the intention you set at the beginning. And hopefully you wrote your intention on the Facebook post where you were asked. If not, don't worry. But it's really good to put your intention into writing. So connecting there down into that source of vitality, that source of creativity, that source of abundance, connecting with Aphrodite, feeling her juiciness, her voluptuous, feeling a harvest, a bumper harvest of pumpkins, fields full of grain, cows full of milk. Feeling the abundance in what you wish to manifest for 2023. And really allowing your cells, allowing your body to begin the activation. And sending it over to your body. Feeling the universe, the violet light of the universe, the divine within you, connecting. Allowing the purple energy to fill your whole entire being. And I invite you to open your eyes again and come back into the space. And you can feel free to put your camera on if you like. It's always nice to see everybody. And just let's breathe in this energy. Let's hold this energy in our bodies. And in a moment, I'd like to invite people to share about what just went on there. But I'm going to start by sharing. I know you've probably heard me share quite a bit about myself over the last couple of days. I want to just share about my vision for this project, because I'm absolutely passionate about spreading sex education. So the Art of the Bedchamber is actually now 2 years old, right? And before that, well, there's another company called Lotus Life Consultancy, which was more like coaching, basically. But the Art of the Bedchamber was about like teaching like via video. And initially it started off as literally being me wanting to teach men about how to touch vaginas, right? Because I was so passionate from when I had been doing tantric massage with these like amazing, incredible experiences I had with women. I mean, there was like one experience where I was giving this yoni massage to this woman. So just to explain, this is like a 6-hour session. So initially they're going to email me, they're going to tell me what they want. Then I'm going to send them a consent form. They fill that out. They send it back to me. They come to see me. We talk about what they want. Obviously, we're going somewhere like really intimate. I want to make sure they're like 100% feeling in the driver's seat, feeling in control. Just to mention, guys, I hope that you can make it next Thursday to my masterclass on penetration, where I'm going to be going into this for like 2 hours, talking literally about penetration. But you massage the whole lady's body, but this is after doing these like sacred ceremonies of like energy activation together. You massage the whole body, and then you get to the vagina, and it's such incredibly gentle, slow touch. And it's always like checking in. Does she want it? Is she sure? What does she want? You know? And there was one lady that, and I think she was in her late 60s, and I was just, she started crying. She's like, nobody's ever in my entire life just touched me anything like this gentle. And I think for the last like 10 or 15 years, she'd been having like some pains and discomfort in her vagina, a lot of dryness. And, you know, she was kind of talking about how the sex had always been like quite rough. And this is just one example of like, I think I saw her alone. I saw her partner alone. I saw them together. I think I might have even seen her partner twice. So this is like just one example of people like, and it's just so profound. Like when you do this body work, especially with women who so often has like never really experienced like amazing touch on their vaginas. And I was teaching this to people together, but also, to be honest, when you go do this kind of session, you completely just go into an altered state of consciousness. So I think it's quite hard for people to really recollect, what was going on, which was what got me to start videoing and start sending the creating these videos, creating this first video course, which was called Lover to Super Lover, which then quickly started to basically branch out, because then I realized like I needed to start giving people more self-development stuff. I needed to make stuff for women as well. So that was basically how it got started. And I mean, me, myself personally, I felt like the bad sex education that I had at school, like super messed me up. So this is another thing that I'm actually starting this year piloting, because one of my dreams as well for this company, as well as to basically give like really good sex education to adults, to literally like save marriages, to give people like almost like back their lives, because when people have been like struggling with like different kinds of sexual problems, where it might be like not showing as a sexual problem, but might be like in a block to abundance, or a block to energy, a block to health, and so on, you know. But I'm really passionate about actually reaching like younger people, because being aware, like I speak to so many people that will tell me, like I often speak to guys in their 30s, 40s that started using porn when they were like 10 years old and have like never had a relationship, really messed up sexual life or whatever. And like, it's tragic that this is happening to people, you know. And I mean, I think that obviously, look, yeah, there's a big taboo, like in my own country, England. Thankfully, people are a bit more open-minded, although I don't think that they're getting the sex education exactly right. Basically, I'm starting to pilot, my courses with 16 to 21-year-olds, right? So I now even have a group of sixth form girls that are going to start doing my program for adults, okay, and feed back to me. And out of this, I'm going to create basically a program for 16 to 21-year-old girls that's going to go into like universities and sixth form colleges in England. And I'm going to start piloting that. I'm going to do the same for boys, right? And I'm going to basically start teaching them like really like in depth, this kind of stuff, having a healthy relationship with their own sexual energy. I mean, this is also why I'm starting the teacher training, because what I do is really unique. It's really special. Nobody else is doing like what I'm doing, because I mean, look, there's loads of education about sex, and it's not to have a dig about people. If you want to be into kink, you want to teach kink, you want to be into polyamory or whatever, okay, that's the thing, yeah, right? People can do what they want. I'm totally into it, but I also think people need to be informed, and I think that sometimes it's a lot more powerful to actually like learn to say no, and learn to hold and sit with the sexual energy. Like some women, like if you guys follow me on Instagram, you're going to see that I've recently been talking quite a bit about how it's important to have ownership over our bodies, especially us as women, but you guys too. Like if you go into sex and suddenly the performance anxiety takes over, and you're rushing into sex thinking, oh my God, did I see that in porn? What am I going to do? She's going to think I'm not a man. Yeah, this is just your body is being violated by, you can say by you, by a force beyond you, you know. And the same is going on with women. There's so much just normal sex people are having. There's so much like violation of people. And obviously, like I think for most people, probably kink and poly and so on, you know, it's just another way of overstimulating ourselves, which is what our society is all about. It's all about overstimulating ourselves, basically, you know. And the beautiful thing about Tao, and especially I think a lot of the sex coaches, they come from the States. I don't know how many of you are from the States, right? You know, and in the States, I used to live there. You have this very like Christian, you know, repressive. I remember when I was in high school in America, they basically told us, if you have sex and you're not married, you're going to get AIDS and you're going to die. That was basically the sex education, right? In England, it was a bit more detailed, but still it needs to be like a lot better, you know. But you've got that on the one hand going, repress it, hide it, it's evil, you know. On the other hand, you've got, let's buy a huge vibrator, let's sleep with everyone, let's watch loads of porn, let's da, 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 da. And all of these are really avoiding what the essence of our sexual energy is about. And somewhere in the middle of that, there's just this beautiful, juicy, calm, sensual, sexy place, which is what Taoism is all about, you know. And it's not the, porno thing, and it's not the, naughty. It's just finding what's right in your body, finding what's comfortable for you. It's not telling you how many lovers you're going to have. It's not telling you what you're supposed to do. but it's about learning to understand and connect there within your own sexual energy. And I feel like, you know, when I look around society, and obviously I'm looking through my certain specific lens at society, but you see like so many of the problems, people talking about whether you look from businesses polluting the world or exploitation of workers, governments oppressing people, countries getting onto the brink of war, you know, crime, violence, you know, like sex crime is completely 100% avoidable through proper sex education. And I do believe that most crimes has some kind of a link with sexual blocked energy or sexual problems or whatever. So this is basically my vision, and this is what I'm sort of putting out there through this like beautiful meditation for 2023. And it's definitely like amazing when we can all like connect in there together and basically make our own vision, you know, what we want in our own lives. So I'd like to like invite people to maybe like speak a few words or type into the chat if you're feeling shy about what is their vision. May I read your comment, David?
Yes, please, of course.
Okay. One of the very most beautiful meditations I've lived, the junction between red and blue building up on my body and my intentions has been outstanding. The beauty and the love of the loving couples, letting their juices fill me from the top to the bottom, has been really amazing to me. Thank you, Jade. This is really powerful. It's so powerful, you know, this meditation. I love it. Yeah, actually I heard it from Mantak Chia, and he did the guy was like 76 I think at the time, and he's teaching it, and he goes ha, ha, ha. He goes, this is the first ever porno movie. And I suppose it's like, in a way, I mean, fantasy, this is slightly different from fantasy, right? Because we would say in Taoism, if you're that men actually, and this is in ancient Taoist texts, men should always close their eyes when they experience sexual energy, or they'll lose a lot of energy. So to open your eyes and look at a screen, you're losing a lot of energy doing that. So it would generally not. I think that watching the videos and getting aroused is okay, you know, to some extent. But I suppose it's all about, you know, if you rely on that to get aroused, then it's overtaking your natural programming, you know. But I suppose the difference between just going into a fantasy and this is what you're doing is you're actually working with your energy. And when you work with your energy and you start becoming aware, I don't know if people have seen me do this, but like, for example, if you put your hand out, look, the whole body is like a sensual sexual organ, right? You know, and even if you put your hand out, the idea with this, the main thing is relax your shoulders, relax your arms, put one arm out and get the other. And we're just going to go from the tip of the fingers. So try this, guys. And we're going to stroke slow. The idea is slow. The slower you go, the gentler you are, the more you're connecting with the energy. And notice the difference, even when you go from the fingers, the slow, the gentle. And after we've just done this beautiful exercise and we've actually like refined and activated a load of energy, it's maybe even like more powerful, you know. So try the other arm. And it's incredible. Like we don't think the arm has so many sensations, but the way it changes when we go from the fingers, right, up. So I'd like to invite anybody to type in or to speak. It would be beautiful if people wanted to speak. You don't need to put the camera on. I understand if you're shy. If you want to send something to me in a private message, that's fine as well. but I'd love to hear like what this did for other people. Oh my God, someone's sitting there with a sunset behind them. Torstein. Is that the Northern Lights behind you? The Arctic Circle. How was that,
A view
Torstein?
outside my window, but it's a picture.
How was that for you, Torstein? The meditation?
It felt good. Mm.
Beautiful.
It was a good meditation, I think. Got me relaxed.
Was there anything that you felt specifically?
I don't know how to put it in words exactly now.
That's fine.
I just got very relaxed by your voice comes in out.
I was saying to one of my students yesterday about this. I said, oh, whenever I listen to videos of myself, I think most people get this. I'm always like, oh, it feels weird. It feels odd. Yeah. But when other people say they feel relaxed by my voice, it's always weird when we hear ourselves, I think, on coming
And
back.
by the visions that you
Isn't it? Yeah.
projected to me.
Yeah. I guess that's the inner critic as well, you know, that can kind of yeah. So who else? Seta, would you like to share anything, what you experienced? Or David?
Yeah, I can. Hi everyone. So it was amazing. It was a mixture of feelings actually. It wasn't just one thing. It was. I'm a quite visual person, and I was able to visualize everything that you mentioned. When the energy was in my head, I could feel a twinge of headache coming on. It's a good thing you asked for the energy to bring down afterwards. And later on, when you said, notice where the energy is, I could actually feel it the bottom of or in front of my sacrum in that area. So it was quite interesting to notice where the energy is. And yeah, it was slightly arousal as well at the same time. So I don't know if I was meant to feel that or not, but I just went with it.
Yeah. And
yeah.
in these, when we're doing this kind of stuff, if we're meditating and we feel arousal, that's great, yeah, because the energy is activating, you know, it's perfect. It's not like in our culture where you're like, if you're in church and you get a hard on, it's like, oh, you're so naughty, you're going to the devil. This
Yeah.
is it. And in fact, I've read it in this book, and it is pretty, I think, pretty true. Like that, there's basically like you've got Buddhist monks and nuns who practice a more celibate kind where you're shutting off your sexual energy in a way, whereas the Taoist ones would actually not have sex necessarily, but sometimes they would, but they're all the time meditating with and arousing their sexual energy, and they would perform like oral sex, right? Okay, because it was a good way of like transmuting energy. And I was reading about these nuns that apparently still exist today in Taiwan, because a lot of the Taoists left China and went to live in Taiwan because of the persecution. And that these ladies, like, they would do all these exercises because the whole Tao thing is to look really pretty and keep really young and keep in like a really good state, and, you know, keep your energy like going really, really well, you know, and meditating with the sexual energy. So one of the things they would do is actually go like in a mini skirt looking really sexy on the bus, and then sit opposite a guy with no knickers and no underwear, open their legs and kind of show to the guy. And then the guy would watch and he would get aroused and they would get aroused, and they'd actually meditate with the energy and use the energy to, to basically refine their own energy, basically. And there was like others where they would actually give oral sex to men, and they would take like little bits of the men's jing out of their pre-cum. Yeah, so I think it didn't involve ejaculation. It took it out of the pre-cum. And when I first heard that, I was like, yeah, but they're vampires. Like, you know, I didn't think it was good. And I said it to this friend of mine, and the friend was like, oh, come on. He says, look at all you women. You're complaining all the time about men into feminism. And look at them. They're just being sexy and just doing their thing and just being themselves. And plus, they said if they said to those guys, hey, I'm going to take a bit of your energy out of your pre-cum, is that okay? Like probably 99% of guys would be like, please, yeah. In fact, I've told this story to a few of my male friends, and every one of them were very happy to offer me their pre-cum. So I suppose, you know, it's a different way of looking at the world than we do through our lens of Christianity or Western morality, or basically Western white superiority, really, you know. But I think it's beautiful to, like, you know, immerse in this culture, which is just such a incredible, loving, amazing, practical, pragmatic, grounded, accepting, non-judgmental. You know, there's no morality. Like, the only thing we say is hate is not a good state. It's just a very blocked state. You know, but apart from that, you know, the whole idea is, like, for example, as I had said yesterday, that we don't try to give love to people. We just grow love in ourselves so that it naturally just gets shared with other people. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I noticed someone here who I know, who's been doing the practices for a little bit, put something in the comments. Could I ask if you could speak? Is that okay? About what happened?
Me?
Yeah, you just put something in the comments, right? Wasn't that you?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Once I started doing the books of Montague books, whatever, I started feeling these call them energetic Tourette's. It's like a involuntary spasm, and it happens when I'm sad or when I'm happy or horny, like being touched, or when I'm deep breathing. And when I'm when I was doing the microcosmic orbit, I could feel it, and I'd have a spasm or two, whatever. Also had a sound bath one time, and the sound bath was just about as moving as this meditation that you just did, where there's a lot of movements coming from these energetic movements.
Yeah, so these are like energy kind of orgasms, or we can say, why is somebody calling me? Should put that phone on silent, but I don't even know how to. I've been trying to figure out for days to put it on silent. But anyways, yeah, so these are like energy orgasms. And when we start, maybe I'm going to just talk a little bit, because actually I do call my main course the multi-orgasmic toolkit, although it kind of has a few different names, but that was what it was originally called, at least because it is going through these processes of one of the things of the energy activation. It's becoming multi-orgasmic. And there's like a stage we go through. So maybe we start off with like not feeling much in the body, having sexual problems like me, you know, and that we... Unbelievable. Yeah, that we basically are feeling like just not much going on, not a lot going on. And then we start to just awaken the energy. And actually what's happening is, we looked at the dantians earlier, and when enough energy is rising up into the heart, and there's like the heart energy starts to activate, basically what then happens is that we start getting these vibrations inside of the body. And when it first started happening to me, I didn't even know about this stuff. So I was just meditating, doing my Taoist meditations, and suddenly I was like, I'm like, whoa, what's going on? You know? And sometimes it's like we can get a jerk, which is like, say if there's an energy stuck, for example, in the left hip, it could be like a jerk like that. Or if there's an energy...
That's what these are. Yeah, they're super jerky, and it's usually in my solar plexus.
Ah, yeah, so you have a block just there, yeah. So this
Yeah.
is a very common one that we get that's
yeah.
we really having that's pretty. So that's a really common one here, a jerk. Quite common, they can come from the hip. And when we start getting those, it's really important because we can easily try and tense up to stop it, but it's good to just let it happen and then it will open, so that means like lots of smiling to the heart, opening up the heart, but it should hopefully unblock quite soon. So just so that you guys know, this guy's already working on himself using these exercises, so he's a bit familiar. He's done a certain amount of work and he's starting to have this activation sort of going on. So yeah. Does anyone else want to share anything? I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable, but if you'd like to put your camera on and join and share, I can turn the video off if people are shy. I can stop the video and stop the live stream. Yeah, would people feel more comfortable sharing if we did that?
I can share something.
That would be lovely to hear from you.
Thank you. I mean, it's a little overwhelming to share on this subject, but I can share
Shall
two
I turn
things.
off the recording for you,
No,
Dave?
it's okay. It's okay for me. No, don't worry. But I just want to share two things. One is how easy you share and you speak about all these subjects that are kind of forbidden or sinful or whatever the name you want to put to it. So you touch all these subjects with so much naturality, even funny, and you make it really easy to understand. So thank you for that. And two, you really, with your meditation, you took my envisioning capacity to a next level, because using the colors and the shapes and the couples and the gardens and the flow and the sequence that I went through, it really took my capacity of meditating and visualizing to a next level. So thank you for that too. That's the two things I wanted to share.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And I will just say, yeah, first of all, like giving, we showed his picture at the beginning, and he never wants to be worshipped as a guru, yeah. But I have to say, Mantak Chia puts like a lot of inspiration into me. Like, I think I've definitely had a lot of energy transmitted from him. I even remember when I was doing the instructor training in Tao Gardens, where we're learning like certain exercises, and one of them is we have to go in these qigong positions. If anyone's familiar with qigong, you have to stand in these certain positions where you kind of have your arms out like this, and then this huge Belgian guy comes and like pushes on you like crazy, and you've actually got to transmit chi enough that he can't push you over, right? Which is a pretty hard thing to do, actually. So in fact, if you guys go onto my YouTube channel and go like way back right to the beginning, you can find a video of me doing this, right? Yeah. But anyways, there's got to be this certain energy activation inside you to do it. And so we'd been practicing for the exam, but if you don't pass that exam, you won't get the certification. And I remember being there and Master Chia being there and me saying, oh, Master Chia, I can't do this. And he did. And the thing is, other people might do this and it might seem creepy, but it was 100% not creepy, that he put his hand down, touched literally the tip of my coccyx. By the way, in the old days, people would pay the master 100 pieces of gold to touch their perineum, so right in their perineum, right, to activate it basically. But he touched just the tip of the coccyx, yeah, and something happened, right? And that evening we did the test, right, and the huge Belgian guy was pushing on me, and I was like, and I didn't move and I didn't fall over, and I passed the test, and people were like, oh, what happened? Like, that was really fast. She got, and even sometimes when you go to his lectures, like in person, he kind of walks around and he does stroke people and touch them, and basically, but not in a way that's creepy. Like, literally, I've never heard anybody making any kind of scandalous comment about Mantak Chia, that he's done any kind of inappropriate thing. Like, the only complaints I've heard about him is people saying that they read his book, copied the exercises, and messed themselves up, which definitely does happen. And even though it says in the books not to do that, people will do it, you know. But then you have that, or not getting the knowledge out as well. So, you know, I think it's a hard call on some of these, you know, but if you do and you follow correctly. So I definitely think he's very, very comfortable with sexuality. You know, like I said, he's a guy in his 70s. I've heard him talk for like several hours explaining about how you should finger a woman, how you should lick the pussy. And it's all just very sweet. There's no creepiness about it, which just absolutely stands out from the vast majority of so-called Tantra teachers, men out there. Not that every single one of them is a creep, but it just seems like a lot of them have just this energy that just feels a bit weird, or, you know, there's just none of that weirdness around it. So for sure that's helped. Also, my years of experience doing body work, specifically doing tantric body work, I think, as I mentioned, like, I've done a lot of, you know, body work on people, but it's just in a way that's like very, very sacred. And obviously getting in touch with my own body as well, doing all the exercises, all the practices. But I just will say as well, guys, like, I'm not special, right, except for the fact I've done these exercises, I've gone on this journey, I've worked through my stuff. This is something 100% anybody can do. You know, anybody can do the same exercises as me, anybody can do what I'm doing, anybody can teach what I'm teaching. This is exactly why I want to be bringing people in and getting people basically like to start teaching this as well. Why I definitely encourage you, like, come and study this, because, you know, I want to get people like in the different countries with the different languages teaching my stuff. I want people like teaching it in Africa, teaching it in India, South America, Europe, the different European languages and everything. And I really want to get this stuff like out there to people, like on a level where basically yeah, so Precious, go to bed, Precious. Can we just say, everybody, can we say thank you, Precious? Can we give him a little clap? Precious has been here. He's been helping me. He's been keeping any creeps and weirdos from like bothering us. He's been helping put the comments. He's been helping with the technical stuff. Sometimes if you get a DM from me, it's actually Precious DMing you. So if he wants to know, do you want to get a call on me with me? Do you want to have any help with something? Do you want to come with to such and such an event? It might be Precious there that's sending. Thank you so much, Precious, for helping us, for supporting us. Yeah, go home. I'm hoping that Precious, he's based in Nigeria, is going to become the first Tao teacher in Nigeria as well. I don't think anyone's teaching Taoism in Nigeria, so I'm hoping he's going to eventually start doing that in some shape or form. So yeah, you're really appreciated. Thank you so much for coming here on your weekend. And someone just said about this, the $1 million point. Yeah, that's what another name for that, you know, that point is, the $1 million point, and literally meditating to this point and smiling to it, meditating and smiling to your prostate. It's a really beautiful, powerful thing that anybody can do as well. So can I just check now? We've been just under 2 hours, so we've gone slightly shorter than the other ones, which is just as well. I did promise to answer questions. Can I just say that all you guys will have got an email inviting me onto a call, inviting you onto a call with me. And did I invite you to like use that link to also let me know, like, are you interested? Like, you've got the link there for the membership. You've also got the Calendly if you're interested about the teacher training, if you're interested in learning these exercises for yourself, that's all there as well. And I'm sure you know how to contact me, right, on Instagram, Facebook, and hopefully everybody's in my Facebook group and knows about the penetration class as well. So I'm going to give a last chance. Any more questions? Okay. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye there on Instagram. I'm going to switch off the recording.